How to make passive income. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So in this week's video, I'm going to be talking about how to make passive income without doing property, without having a product that you sell with minimum margins, and without being somebody shouting on the internet with a Rolex watch and a Lamborghini and basically being a bit of a dick. I'm going to teach you passive income step by step, the way that I do it. So let's dive in. The first thing I want to say about passive income is in the early stages, it's going to be anything but passive. It's going to require time, patience, energy, effort. It's going to take a lot of work to build the foundations. And eventually it will kind of become semi-passive income. And I think that's the first thing I want to make clear. You have to get your mentality, your attitude, your mindset right to not just be in this mindset that I see so many people have, which is that get rich quick thing, that wanting something for nothing attitude. That is not the right way you do it. I'm in a position now where every single day, when you look at my Stripe, there are transactions coming in. Some of them are bigger than others, but the point is I'm consistently getting income 7 days a week. But I need to make it clear, it was not always that way. I have worked really flipping hard for a long time, and I still do work. I would consider myself at a position where predominantly my income is semi-passive and recurring income, but I'm still not at a place where it's 100% passive. And I think if you can be okay with that, if you can adopt that mentality that actually you want to do something that's meaningful, that's rewarding, that's fulfilling, but actually to some degree you actually still want to have some level of input, then I think you put yourself in the best position to genuinely have passive income long term. So here's the first step. Start with something that you already are passionate about, that you know, that you love. Figure out something that you already know more than the average person on, that people would pay to learn. Why are we doing this? Well, because a lot of these passive income style mentors, they're getting you into things where there's maybe higher risk. They're getting you into things where you may be selling a product that has a tiny amount of margin and a tiny amount of profit on there. So you have to sell in bulk to even just start to make a decent living out of it. Whereas what I teach is about building a personal brand, is about helping other people, teaching other people, and actually building something that is more sustainable, more substantial, and that can still be around in years to come, irrespective of the trends and changes in what people are buying. So it might be something like you have a passion for baking gluten-free cakes, or you've been really interested in AI or social media or growing an account, or it might be that you love playing guitar or piano, or how you got into great shape whilst being a parent of 2 children. Come back to something that is rooted in truth, that you've got experience in, and that actually you're passionate talking to people about. Now, this is not about reinventing the wheel or doing something that no one else is doing. This is just about remembering that you already have something that other people would pay to learn. And you don't need to be the expert, the most knowledgeable and the most experienced. You just need to be a couple of steps ahead of the person you're gonna teach. And remember this phrase that your knowledge is not common knowledge. I think, for example, if you've been on a fitness journey and you've really taken that seriously, and then you spend a lot of time in the gym around other people on fitness journeys and personal trainers, you're going to start to think that everybody just understands what macros are and calories and training splits, and all this terminology and language is really natural to you. But you can't forget that somebody who's never stepped foot in a gym and never been interested in that subject that now wants to learn, they're going to find all of that brand new, and they're going to need somebody to break it down for them. That's where you can come in. Once you know what the thing is that you're going to teach, the next step is about audience building. We are living in a time where it's never been easier to build a brand, to connect with people, and to build trust with people. You have got access at your fingertips for free to social media, to YouTube, to all these amazing platforms where you can consistently create content, put yourself out there, find groups, communities, forums where your ideal client already is, and start to get in front of them. And once you're starting to build that audience, which will take time, by the way, again, none of this is a quick win and a quick fix, but once you're building that audience, you now want to start to create offers and products that you can put in front of them. This might be something like a digital course, digital ebooks, downloads, a membership, group coaching packages, some kind of online resource and service that solves the problem of your ideal client that teaches them that thing that you already know. And then the next step is about building it once so that you can then rinse and repeat time and time again. So for example, if you was going to teach a 6-week course, you might initially teach it live, and that first time you teach it, you've got to proactively create the content, maybe create a workbook or something like that, and then you've got to show up each week over those 6 weeks teaching that content. But once you've made it once you've filmed those sessions, that then becomes a course that you can then launch year after year, even month after month. You can consistently sell once you've made it once. And that's where it starts to become semi-passive and even passive income over time. That then wants to automatically be able to take payment once they click buy, and then send them the course, the product, once they've bought. So you need to make sure you find a platform that works for you. So systems that I've used and recommend is either System.io or Funnel Sketchers. Both of those programs can not only create your sales page and be connected in a way where people can read about what it is you do, buy the course, and then be delivered an email with the course on automation, but you can also actually create the course portal or the membership portal within those systems, because it's kind of like an all-in-one CRM system. So either of them I really recommend. Once you've got all this set up and once you've delivered that first course, this is where now we need to have a sales system in process that you can just rinse and repeat. This is the bit where it can really start to become semi-passive and passive over time. So this is where you might want to think about things like having a lead magnet, then having a great email nurture sequence. So when people opt in for that free lead magnet, they're then in a natural sequence of emails that nurtures that relationship, that warms them up, and then eventually it leads to an email with a call to action to buy the course. You could also go down the route of having a free webinar or a free masterclass or a free 3-day challenge, which again, you might want to deliver those things for the first time live, but once you've done it once, those recordings you can just have going out on automation, and you can have new people joining that free masterclass, that free webinar every single day if you want them to. And remember again that all of this takes a bit of time to figure out and to make sure you're doing it to the best of your ability. But I really believe, like, my motto is learn from doing. Learn from the experience of putting this stuff together, getting it out there, building that audience, building those relationships, rather than just learning from reading books and consistently consuming podcasts and things like that. Just start to put something together, start to build that audience, put together your free masterclass, your lead magnet, your webinar, your challenge, and then start to get feedback on that. And through having the discipline and the commitment of working through this and trial and error and being consistent, eventually you're gonna start to create that perfect sequence where you know you've got that brilliant, irresistible offer and course that's created, and you know that whole customer journey from when somebody first sees your ad or your content to then opting in to your free masterclass or challenge, to then the pitch, to then being able to buy the course, that whole system, that whole customer journey is tried and tested. You know that it works, and you know that if you want to, you can just put an ad spend behind that, and you know the numbers, you know the data, you know that when you spend X amount on ads, X amount of people convert, and there's X amount of profit. That's where over time it can start to become eventually completely passive income. Now, I know if this is brand new to you, this might feel a little bit overwhelming. It might feel like it's an awful lot to do if you're starting from scratch, and I do really appreciate that. So what I'm considering doing is, and this will be completely free, doing an in-depth, maybe like a couple of hour long masterclass where I really break down these steps in way more detail. I give you exact exercises that you can take away and do that will help you figure all this out step by step, and I'll basically guide you through the entire process. Like I say, it will be a couple of hours, it'll be completely free, and it will be there to literally help you create your passive income vehicle. As I said, in a way that isn't low ticket and low profit, in a way where you don't have to flex with Rolex watches that you've rented and Lamborghinis, and by being a bit of a dick, and in a way where you don't have to get into property and do a big property course and rent to rent and whatever else property gurus are telling you to do at the moment. This is a way where you can just take something you love, you're passionate about, build a social media following, create something of value that people genuinely want, and then have a system behind it that means it sells week after week, month after month, year after year, bringing you income long term. That yes, up front there's a lot of hard work, but then down the line in years 2, years 3, starts to be making money from doing very little, if not anything at all. If you want that free masterclass, if you want me to do it, I haven't made it yet, so this really, I need your feedback. Whether this happens or not literally relies on you saying yes to this. Just comment in the comment section below this YouTube video right now. Let me know, just say yes, would love that masterclass. And if I have a substantial amount of you that have watched this saying yes, give me a couple of weeks, put it together and it will be here on this YouTube channel. So make sure you are subscribed. You're going to need it, otherwise you're going to miss this if it gets uploaded. So subscribe to this YouTube channel, comment below, and then if enough of you want it, I will do this for you completely for free.